In the heart of Africa, the vast plains of Tanzania stretch out under a blazing sun, reaching endlessly into the distance like an ocean of golden grasses swaying under the intense heat. Here, life is a constant struggle, a never-ending battle for survival. Every creature, from the smallest rodent to the largest elephant, lives on the edge, watching and waiting because there's no room for carelessness. The dry season arrives with its harsh, unforgiving grip, painting the landscape in shades of yellow and brown. The green fades, and the land turns into a canvas of cracks and dark shadows. The ground cracks under the intense heat, and the grasses that were once lush and green dry up, leaving behind a thirsty, dusty land. Hot winds carry fine dust that whips at the animals' faces and gets into their fur. Water becomes the most precious jewel in this kingdom, and every drop is fought over. Animals gather around the remaining waterholes, pushing and waiting, because every approach to water carries the risk of an ambush. For the creatures that call this place home, every day is a new chapter in a saga of endurance, a test of will against the mighty forces of nature. Elephants trek through the dust searching for water, and gazelles watch the horizon with sharp eyes. The air is thick with tension, a silent promise of the drama about to unfold. Every movement, every flutter of a wing or rustle of grass could mean the start of a chase or the end of a life. This is a world ruled by ancient laws, the laws of hunger and thirst, and the laws of predator and prey. In every shadowy corner a hunter hides, waiting for the moment to strike. Life and death dance a delicate ballet across these vast lands. A gazelle's leap might mean escape, or it could be the beginning of the end. The hunter is always watching, driven by the instinct to kill for its next meal. Its eyes never close, and its ears pick up the slightest sounds in the burning silence. As for the prey, it's always alert, its senses sharpened by the constant threat of danger. Every heartbeat, every twitch of an ear is a response to a possible threat. It's a world of sharp contrasts where moments of calm beauty can suddenly shatter against the harshness of brutal reality. Silence can turn into chaos in a fleeting moment. Often, the silence of the savannah is broken by the sound of thundering hooves, a lion's roar, or the desperate cry of a creature fighting for its life. The sounds echo across the horizon, witnessing the battle for survival. This is the stage where a grand play unfolds daily without a written script or rehearsals. Each scene is unique. Each encounter holds endless possibilities. The rules of this game seem simple at first glance. The strong hunt the weak, the fast catch the slow, but beneath this simplicity lies an amazing complexity of tactics and instinct. The predator dominates, and the prey is fated to fall. But even in defeat, there is dignity and resilience, for every life contributes to nature's cycle. For many, this is the unchanging order of the natural world. Generation after generation, the same stories repeat, but each hero adds their own special mark. But here in the wildness of Tanzania, these rules are sometimes broken. Moments of rebellion appear when the prey refuses to be just a victim. Roles can flip unexpectedly. A moment of bravery or a clever move can change the outcome of an encounter. The prey, often seen only as a victim, possesses hidden strength and an amazing will to resist. Sometimes the weaker stands up to the stronger and creates a miracle of survival. The confrontation isn't always one-sided. The hunted has its own weapons, strategies, and moments of amazing courage that can stun even the most powerful hunters. Intelligence, speed, and even cooperation are all tools for survival. We are about to witness this amazing interaction. Every creature here holds a story, and every moment carries the potential to transform from prey to survivor. We'll dive into a world where the lines between winner and loser become blurry. No one knows who will come out on top in the end. We'll see how a creature known for its gentle nature can turn into a fierce warrior when cornered. Even the calmest creatures have their own ways to defend their lives. This is the story of the Tanzanian wilderness, a story of deep lessons about life, struggle, and the amazing strength found in those who are seen as weak. Every creature here tells a chapter of the survival saga. It's proof that every player, no matter how small or seemingly unimportant, has a vital and powerful role in the ongoing drama of existence. In this grand theatre, no one is exempt from the test of survival, and no one is denied the chance to prove themselves under the scorching sun. In the vast African savannah, the zebra stands out like a moving work of art, showing both the beauty and strength of the wild. Its amazing coat, with its black and white stripes, catches your eye from far away. These stripes aren't just for show, they're a perfect natural masterpiece with different widths and curves covering the body from head to tail. Even the legs have special patterns. Each zebra has its own special pattern that never repeats, as if nature gives each one its own identity. This unique look helps the herd members tell each other apart in a crowd and gives them a sense of belonging. And when zebras gather, their stripes blend together to create a moving picture of shadows and light, which tricks and confuses predators. When danger hits, the herd becomes one solid mass, making it hard for a lion or cheetah to pick out a target in the changing pattern. This visual trick is their first shield, a silent barrier that protects them from the hunter's teeth and gives them a precious chance to survive. The zebra is a creature of the open plains, moving lightly through the golden grass, watching the horizon with wide eyes that don't miss a thing. It eats tough, dry grasses that many other savanna animals can't. Its advanced digestive system lets it get food from poor plants, turning them into energy that pushes it across long distances. In the dry season, when the grass withers and the green disappears, the zebra stands strong, eating what's left of life in the dry land, and keeps going on its journey looking for water and food. Its large, strong teeth, made for grinding tough stems and dry leaves, never stop working even in the toughest conditions, and when danger calls, the zebra takes off at an amazing speed, up to 65 kilometers per hour, running lightly and gracefully, weaving through grass and rocks, escaping the grip of death. Its large eyes, placed on the sides of its head, give it a wide view, catching the smallest details on the horizon. Its long ears, which can turn, pick up the weakest sounds, from the rustle of the wind to a distant roar. But the zebra's secret isn't just in its physical strength, but in its deep social spirit. It's a very social animal, living in close-knit herds, with members talking through sounds, gestures and touches. The herd is the zebra's world, its big family that gives it safety and support. Herds can have hundreds or even thousands of members, moving together in seasonal migrations looking for water and grazing land. At the heart of this group is the power of numbers. Every member watches, every ear listens, and every eye spots danger before it gets close. Everyone is on alert, watching all four directions, sharing warnings and protecting each other from deadly surprises. If a predator shows up, one of them lets out a sharp warning sound, and the whole herd moves as one body, running away in perfect harmony, confusing the enemy and protecting the young. Inside the herd, small family groups called harems form, led by a strong male who protects his females and their young and leads them through travel and dangers. Males fight in fierce battles, showing strength and bravery, kicking and biting, proving their place in the pecking order, and earning the right to lead the harem. The bond between a mother and her foal is deep, starting from the very first moment of birth, where the mother recognizes her foal's smell and sound and protects it from all danger. The little foal stands on its feet within minutes, and runs next to its mother within an hour, learning the secrets of life in the wild from her and gaining strength and courage. The mother stays close to her foal, teaching it sounds and smells, and making sure it doesn't get lost in the crowd until it can take care of itself. In the end, the zebra isn't just prey in a world of predators, but a key part of the savanna's ecosystem. It eats grass, clears the way for other animals, and with its herds forms a picture of life and challenge, telling the story of survival in the heart of the African wilderness. In the harsh savanna ecosystem, the zebra is a prime target for several formidable predators. Every day a new battle for survival begins, with predatory eyes watching every move in the herd, waiting for a moment of weakness. The lion, king of the plains, and the cheetah, the fastest land animal on Earth, both see the zebra as a tasty meal. They hide in the tall grass, studying the herd's movements, carefully choosing their target. The typical picture is a desperate chase, with the predator surely catching its tired prey. But behind this picture are tiny details where a game of smarts and tricks begins between the hunter and the hunted. We often think the zebra is a helpless victim, and its fate is sealed once the hunter picks it. But in moments of extreme stress, the zebra shows its skill in reading the predator's intentions and predicting its next move. The hunt is more complex and unpredictable. Sometimes the zebra suddenly changes direction or blends in with the herd to confuse the predator, and the chance to attack is lost in a flash. The zebra is not just a passive player in this life-or-death struggle. It's a fighter, armed with powerful weapons and an unbreakable will to survive. Sometimes it stands face to face with the predator, staring fearlessly into its eyes, ready to fight to the end. Take the cheetah, for example, a hunter built for explosive speed. It hides in the grass, watching the herd with deadly patience, then shoots off like an arrow in a single moment. It can accelerate faster than a sports car, reaching speeds over 100 kilometers per hour. In mere seconds it closes in on its prey, testing the limits of its ability and the zebra's ability to escape. When a cheetah targets a young foal that has strayed from its mother, the outcome seems certain. The cheetah approaches silently, choosing the perfect moment to pounce. But motherly instinct is one of the strongest forces in nature. The mother watches every move, ready to step in at the critical moment. The mother, when she sees her young in danger, does not hesitate to face the predator. She charges powerfully, lets out a warning cry, and uses her body as a living shield. Instead of running away, she charges directly at the cheetah, her ears flattened back and her teeth bared. In the moment of confrontation, time stops, and everything depends on the next reaction. An adult zebra, when it charges, is a formidable opponent, and its fierce aggression is often enough to make the cheetah give up its attack, preferring to survive rather than risk a dangerous meal. In moments like these, the balance of power suddenly shifts. As for the lion, despite its strength that surpasses the cheetah, it faces a similar challenge. The lioness patiently stalks, approaching the herd, watching and waiting for a chance to pounce. The lioness may use her superior stealth to track a lone zebra, getting as close as possible before pouncing. Every step is calculated and every breath carries the scent of tension. But the zebra's defense isn't just about running away. In moments of confrontation, it takes a defensive stance, plants its feet and positions its body to protect its weakest members. Its strongest weapon is its hind kick, which can be delivered with bone-breaking force. In a flash, the zebra delivers a kick that can change the fate of the battle. One well-aimed kick from the zebra's hind legs can break a lion's jaw or ribs, which can be a death sentence for a predator that relies on its physical strength to hunt. Sometimes the lion survives its injuries, carrying the scars of the encounter for the rest of its life. Many seasoned lions carry scars from such encounters and show caution when approaching their striped prey. Every scar tells a story of a battle, and every look carries a lesson from the past. The zebra knows its strength, and it won't hesitate to use it when its life is on the line. It stands firm, sending a clear message. This confrontation won't be easy. These confrontations break the simple story of the strong dominating the weak. In every moment, the balance of power shifts and the outcome becomes open to all possibilities. It reveals a deep truth about the natural world. Survival is not just about strength or speed, but also courage, strategy, and the will to fight. Every confrontation holds a story of resilience, intelligence, and a challenge to fate. The zebra, with its powerful kick and fierce defensive instincts, proves that prey can dictate the terms of the confrontation. In moments of danger, it transforms from hunted to fierce fighter. It changes the rules of the game, forcing the predator to weigh the potential reward against the risk of serious injury. Sometimes the predator chooses to retreat, realizing that the adventure might be too costly. In these challenging moments, the zebra stops being just prey. It becomes a warrior, writing its own story of survival on the plains of Tanzania, where every day holds a new chance to survive, and every encounter leaves an unforgettable mark on the memory of the savannah. The zebra's role in the savannah ecosystem goes way beyond just being part of the food chain. It's like a beating heart, guiding and impacting countless lives across the plains. These striped animals aren't just members of a herd, they're silent pioneers, guides of the great migrations. They lead the way every dry season, drawing paths of life across the dry lands. When the dry season starts and the green fields fade and water becomes scarce, huge herds of animals begin their yearly journey across the savannah. At the front of this journey, you'll find the zebras, leading the way across vast areas, following patterns passed down through generations. Zebras are often the ones leading this huge journey at the front of the line, making a path through the dry lands, while the other animals watch them and gain confidence in the path. What makes the zebra special is its unique ability to digest older, drier grasses. This lets them venture into areas that other plant-eaters like wildebeest and gazelles might avoid at first. This ability gives them an edge in exploring new lands, even in the toughest conditions. The zebra acts as the vanguard, testing the ground and exploring new grazing areas, paving the way for other herds to follow in their footsteps. Every step they take carries a promise of survival for the rest of the animals. As zebras move across the plains, their constant grazing has a big effect on the environment. They open up closed grazing areas and reshape the plant life, changing the way the whole ecosystem works. By eating the tall, tough grasses, they reveal the shorter, more nutrient-rich shoots underneath, creating new layers of grazing that other animals will benefit from. This process basically gets the grazing areas ready for the species that follow, making sure life keeps flowing in the savannah even in the toughest seasons. The wildebeest, who like shorter grasses, arrive to find the grazing areas just right for their needs. They follow the zebras, benefiting from their efforts to prepare the land. In turn, the wildebeest's grazing trims the plants even more, making them perfect for smaller plant-eaters like Thompson's gazelles, who can only get to these grazing areas after the wildebeest and zebras have passed through. This order of grazing is a great example of unintended teamwork, a natural rhythm where one species' actions create chances for others, forming a complex web of dependence between species. The zebra's role isn't just about preparing grazing areas, it also includes leading other animals to the most important resource of all, water. Their strong instincts and memory allow them to remember water locations even after long dry seasons. Sometimes zebras dig in dry riverbeds to reach underground water, uncovering hidden sources that other animals can't easily find. Other animals watch and follow the zebras, knowing that these striped herds will eventually lead them to a living oasis, where water and grass are available. This way, the zebra's journey isn't just for itself, it becomes a lifeline for countless creatures who share the same dry environment. Every migration it leads opens doors to survival for other species. The sound of their hooves on the dry ground is a sign of hope, a promise of water and fresh grass in a world ruled by scarcity and challenges. This role as an ecosystem engineer highlights how everything is connected in the savannah. Every move the zebra makes creates ripples of impact that spread throughout the entire food chain. The zebra isn't just a grazer or food for predators. It's a key driver that shapes the environment and affects the behavior of whole animal communities, from the smallest plant eaters to the biggest predators. Their movements set the course for the great migrations. Their eating habits prepare grazing areas for others, and their instincts guide the thirsty to water in a continuous cycle of giving and impact. The zebra's presence makes sure the symphony of life continues on the plains, showing us that every creature, through its daily struggle to survive, contributes in hidden ways to the health and toughness of the whole system. The zebra, in its leading role, writes chapters of survival and renewal in the open book of the savannah. While the zebra shows how strong prey can be, the African savannah is like a living stage where the fight to survive happens every day. Here, the hunters of the plains are as different and amazing as the land itself. Each one is a master of its own special skill. The savannah's hunters are a mix of special skills and ways to fit in. Each kind of animal has been shaped over thousands of years to play a certain part in this ecosystem. From the grand lion to the never-giving-up hyena, the fast cheetah to the tireless wild dog, every hunter has a plan that gives it an advantage in the never-ending fight between hunter and hunted. This land has been shaped by a race to get better, where every new trick the hunter learns is met by a new trick from the hunted. The power balance is always changing. The lions, with their golden fur and powerful look, are the clear top hunters of these plains. They stay in charge not just by being strong, but by working together and having a social order. Lions live in groups called prides. They form close social groups, and each member plays a very important part in the pride's survival. Their way of hunting together lets them go after tough prey, grown-up zebras, strong wildebeest, and even the mighty buffalo. A lion hunt is a show of quiet talking and perfect teamwork, with each lioness knowing her place in the coming attack. Some lions push the prey forward, while others wait, hidden in the grass, ready to spring the trap. This way of splitting up the work, this smooth teamwork, is the pride's best weapon. When the hunt goes well, the pride gathers to share the food, making their bonds stronger and making sure everyone survives. Their social smarts are as important as their strength, showing how complex life is at the top of the food chain. But in the shadows of the lions, another strong hunter roams the grasslands, the spotted hyena. People often have wrong ideas about hyenas, but they are much more than just scavengers. These smart hunters are among the most successful meat-eaters on the plains. They do well because they are smart, work together, and are very determined. Hyenas hunt in large groups led by females. Their social structure is as complex as any lion pride. Led by strong females, the group works together to outsmart and overpower prey, often when it's dark. Night is their time, when their senses and energy give them the upper hand. Their strength comes from their numbers and never giving up. They chase prey over long distances, never stopping until the prey is too tired to go on. A single hunt can go on for hours, with the hyena's never-ending effort wearing down even the strongest animals. When the prey finally slows down, the group closes in, their strong jaws ready to finish the job. The hyena's bite is famous, strong enough to crush bone and eat what others leave behind. Nothing is wasted, every bit is eaten, making the hyena a very important cleaner in the ecosystem. Their good work makes sure the plains stay clean, and the circle of life keeps going. Among the most interesting hunters are the African wild dogs, also called painted wolves because of their amazing coats. Their beauty is only matched by how incredibly good they are at hunting. Wild dogs are experts at running for a long time and working together. Their hunts are a fast, smooth blur. Unlike other hunters, they keep chasing without stopping, making their prey tired in the open daylight. While many hunters like the shadows of dawn or dusk or the cover of night, wild dogs do well under the hot sun, with energy that can't be beaten. They can chase prey for miles, never slowing down, never breaking their formation. They talk to each other in a complex way, using barks, yips and body language to guide the pack as they take turns leading the chase. The hunt is like a relay race, with each dog doing its part, the pack moving as one unstoppable force. Their bright coats flash across the plains, a living pattern in motion. When the prey finally falls, the pack gathers, sharing the meal very fairly. Their social structure is strict but caring, making sure even the youngest and weakest get fed. This togetherness is the secret to their survival in a world of tough competition. The savannah is like a big web, where what one hunter does affects the others. Lions, hyenas and wild dogs often fight over land and food. Their meetings are fierce and hard to predict. Lions might use their size and strength to steal food from hyenas, scaring their rivals with pure power. But when many hyenas gather, their bravery and numbers can even make lions leave. The power balance changes with every meeting, and no win is ever certain. Alone and hard to see, the leopard moves through the shadows, a master of being sneaky and surprising. The smart jackal and the super-fast cheetah add their own ways of hunting. One uses cleverness and chances, the other uses amazing speed. Together, these hunters create a lively, always changing balance. Each one finds its own place in the busy world of the savannah. Every day the plains are filled with the sounds of chasing and escaping, of plans and survival. In this world, the hunters are as important as the hunted. Each one is a thread in the complex fabric of life that makes up the African plains. The rules of the savannah aren't always set in stone. Here, every sunrise brings a new challenge, a new test of courage and smarts. Being strong isn't always enough to stay alive. While we often see strong predators catching their prey, the savannah also shows us times when the hunted fight back hard, when they refuse to give up, and the strong meet unexpected resistance. Imagine a herd of buffalo, heads down, making a circle around their babies as lions sneak around the edges. You can feel the tension in the air. The lions, with their strong muscles, look powerful, but the buffaloes stand firm. Their unity is a shield stronger than any single animal. The smaller animals, often not noticed, have made their senses super sharp. Meerkats stand guard, looking all around, their tiny bodies shaking with the big job they have. Impalas flick their tails, sending quiet warnings through the grass. It's a language of survival, told through movement and staying alert. When things are really stacked against them, the underdog sometimes finds the bravery to challenge the big guys. A jackal, small and thin, shows its teeth at a much bigger rival, pushed by hunger and the desperate need to protect its family. Think about the black-backed jackal, an animal tiny compared to the lions and leopards that live on the same plains. Its heart beats with the same strong hope. its eyes always looking for a chance, a weakness, a moment to grab. Jackals don't just survive, they are families held together by loyalty. Pairs that mate for life raise their young together, with older brothers and sisters helping the next generation. In their world, working together is the best weapon. They move with patience, their bodies low to the ground, every step carefully planned. Their real strength isn't in their muscles, but in their quiet, smart way of thinking. Imagine a family of jackals, their eyes glued to a leopardess and her cubs eating a fresh kill. Hunger growls in their bellies, but they wait, hearts pounding for the perfect moment. A direct fight would mean certain death. So the jackals wait, watching every flick of the leopard's tail, every time she looks away. Suddenly, a distraction. One jackal dashes forward, getting the leopardess's attention, while another sneaks in, grabbing a piece of meat with its jaws. The family bursts into quiet celebration, a win achieved not by force, but by being brave and working together. It's a quick moment of happiness, proof that brains can beat brawn. The jackal's toughness is shown in every scar, every meal they manage to steal. Somewhere else, the action gets more intense at a dead animal. The air buzzes with the sound of wings as vultures circle, their shadows dancing over the ground. 3 spotted hyenas, their jaws red, stand over their prize. They are the clear bosses of this moment, their laughs echoing across the plains. Their power is complete until the sky gets dark with the arrival of the scavengers. Vultures, one by one, then in waves, come down from the sky. Their numbers grow like a living wave of hunger and determination. Dozens, then hundreds gather, their eyes fixed on the feast below. Each vulture is weak alone, but together they can't be stopped. They rush forward, wings flapping, beaks snapping, a wild storm of desperation. The hyenas snarl and snap, but the unstoppable crowd keeps pushing in. The dead animal disappears under a squirming mass of feathers and beaks. The hyenas, outnumbered and overwhelmed, are forced to back away, their strength useless against the sheer power of everyone working together. Even the strongest sometimes have to give in. The hyenas, their pride hurt, sneak away, leaving their hard-won meal to the animals often called scavengers. This change isn't just a show, it's the very heart of how the savannah stays balanced. Here, the weak can win and the strong can fall. No single creature stays on top forever. The savannah is a place where things change, where every animal, whether it hunts or is hunted, has to fight for its spot. A leopard cub with wide eyes watches as a jackal snatches its meal away. In that moment, the cub learns that being alert is just as important as being strong. The hyena, looking back at the swirling group of vultures, is reminded that even the fiercest sometimes have to accept defeat. These moments of struggle and toughness stop any one predator from becoming too powerful. They make sure that the savannah's riches are shared, that life keeps going in a cycle of challenges and new beginnings. In this world, staying alive is a dance of bravery, cleverness and hope. Every creature, no matter how small or seemingly weak, has a chance to change its story. The savannah is a living example of the truth that when strength isn't enough, being tough and having heart can change everything. High above the endless plains, riding invisible rivers of warm air, vultures glide with effortless mastery. Their wings stretch wide, catching the thermals that spiral upward from the sun-baked earth, allowing them to travel vast distances with barely a beat. To many, these birds seem scary. Their dark shapes and bald heads make people think of death and decay. But this idea isn't fair to them, and it hides the really important job they do for the land. Vultures aren't just animals that eat dead things. They are the quiet caretakers of the savannah, a very important part of how everything works there. Seeing them means the land is healthy, Not that something bad is going to happen. When an animal dies, vultures are usually the first ones to show up. Their eyesight is super sharp, among the best in the animal world. They can spot a dead animal from miles away. They come down in big groups because they know there's a meal there, and it's their job to clean up. Sitting high up, a vulture looks over the land, searching for any sign that an animal has recently died. Once it finds a dead animal, it tells the other vultures, and soon the sky is full of circling wings. When they arrive, a very important process begins. The savannah has a lot of life, but death is just as common. If there were no vultures, the bodies of dead animals would just stay there, making the air and water dirty, and making all the other animals sick. The big animal migrations, like when the wildebeest move, bring both new life and death. Thousands of them die each year. Some get too tired, some are caught by other animals, and many die because of the harsh weather. Along the paths they travel, dead animals are scattered across the land, reminding us of how tough nature can be. Here, vultures help make things new again, making sure that death doesn't cause sickness. Without them, these dead bodies would rot in the hot sun, attracting lots of bugs, and becoming places where bad germs could grow, like anthrax, cholera and more, which could spread through animal groups and wipe them out. Vultures come down in groups working together. Each type of vulture has a special job. Some, with strong beaks, tear open the tough skin, while others, more gentle, reach deep inside to eat what others can't get to. Their teamwork is amazing. They are fast, organized, and get the job done quickly. In just a few hours, a dead animal is reduced to clean, sun-bleached bones, leaving very little for sickness to take hold. Eating so quickly is super important. The less time a dead animal stays there, the less chance there is for bad germs and viruses to spread. Vultures are like the savannah's first line of defense against big sicknesses. Everything about the vulture is made for this messy job. Their sharp, hooked beaks can rip through the toughest muscle and skin, while their super senses lead them right to their next meal. The bald head and neck, which often look a bit strange, are actually a brilliant design from nature. With no feathers there, blood and germs can't stick, which keeps the vulture clean even when it's deep inside a dead animal. This special feature, along with them carefully cleaning themselves, makes sure vultures stay healthy even with their gross diet. But their most amazing defense is inside them. A vulture's stomach is like a super strong acid pit, much stronger than any other animal's. This acid kills even the most dangerous germs and viruses, letting vultures safely eat meat that would kill other animals. They can eat what others have to stay away from, rotting, germ-filled meat, turning it into energy that keeps them alive and stopping the spread of sickness. So, vultures act like nature's ultimate cleaners, making the land pure and keeping countless animals healthy. Their work keeps the ecosystem balanced. By getting rid of the dead, they make room for the living, making sure that the circle of life keeps going without a break. The good stuff from the dead animals goes back into the soil, feeding the grass that the herds eat, which then supports the predators and finally the scavengers again. Vultures are a super important part of this never-ending chain, connecting death to life, decay to new beginnings, and making sure the land stays healthy for everyone who lives there. So when you see vultures circling high above the plains, know that you're watching the guardians of the savannah at work. They keep things balanced, they help the circle of life go on, and they are the quiet heroes of the wild. The sun-baked plains of Tanzania stretch out forever, shimmering with heat, as the huge groups of zebras and wildebeest keep moving on their endless journey. Their hooves kick up clouds of dust, and every step is pushed by the promise of water up ahead. But as they get close to the Mara River, everything gets quiet in the herd. Everyone feels nervous, like every animal knows the danger that's coming. The Mara River, winding like a dark ribbon through the golden savannah, is both a safe place and a tough challenge. Its banks are full of green plants, a big difference from the dry plains, and its waters shine invitingly under the African sun. For the thirsty herds, this river is like a lifeline. Its cool depths promise relief and a way to stay alive. But under the water, danger is hiding. The river is a line between life and death, watched over by one of Africa's oldest and smartest hunters, the Nile crocodile. The air is thick with worry as the animals gather at the water's edge, their instincts telling them about the hidden threat. The Nile crocodile, covered in tough scales and strong muscles, is like a living thing from the time of dinosaurs. It waits, not moving, its huge body blending in perfectly with the muddy riverbank, or hidden just under the water, with only its eyes and nose showing it's there. With patience that has grown over millions of years, the crocodile is a master of surprise attacks. It can stay perfectly still for hours, its senses tuned to the smallest ripple or shake in the water, its eyes fixed on the herds coming closer. The herds gather, their bodies close together in nervous waiting. Each animal hesitates, testing the water with careful steps, eyes wide and ears twitching at every sound. Crossing the river is a moment where they are most open to danger, a risky move where life and death are on the line. The crocodile's hunting moves are a great example of being quick and surprising. It glides quietly through the water, pushed by a strong tail, its eyes just above the surface, watching the herd's movements with steady focus. To someone who doesn't know, it looks like nothing more than a floating log, moving with the river's flow. But under this calm outside is a tightly wound spring of muscle and instinct, ready to burst into action at just the right moment. The crocodile waits, saving its energy, every sense sharp to the vibrations of hooves entering the water. The surface shakes with anticipation, the tension growing with every second that passes. Suddenly, the herd rushes forward, pushed by desperation and the sheer number of animals. The river explodes into chaos. Water churns, hooves splash, and the cries of animals fill the air as they jump into the current. In an instant, the crocodile attacks. There's no long chase, just a single powerful burst of energy as it lunges from the depths, jaws wide open, pushed by its strong tail. It goes after the weak, the young, or the unlucky, those who are separated from the safety of the herd. Its jaws snap shut with bone-crushing force, grabbing onto its prey with terrifying speed. The fight is fierce but quick. The crocodile's huge strength pulls its victim under the water, where the water quickly fills with bubbles and splashing limbs. In this watery battleground, the zebra's usual ways of defending itself, speed, quickness and strong kicks, are almost useless. The water slows down every move, turning the river into a deadly trap. The zebra's frantic kicks stir up clouds of mud, but against an enemy hidden underwater their power is dulled. The crocodile's grip is unbreakable, its advantage complete. Even the protection of the herd is limited in the water. The wildness of thousands of bodies crossing at once offers some cover, but it also causes confusion, separating individual animals and making them easy targets. Young zebras and weaker animals are especially in danger, swept away by the current or separated from their mothers in the panic. The crocodile's territory is unforgiving and the river shows no mercy. On the riverbank, a mother zebra can only watch in helpless terror as her young one is taken by the predator. The bravery she would show on land is useless here, her cries lost in the noise of the crossing. The difference is clear. On land the herd is strong, together and watchful. In the river, fear rules, and the rules of staying alive are rewritten with every crossing. This yearly crossing is one of nature's most amazing sights, a raw, clear show of how hunters and their prey interact at their most intense. The river becomes a stage for survival, where every moment is full of suspense. The constant threat of the crocodile changes how the herds act, keeping them always on alert, their movements careful and planned. The Mara River is a puzzle, a green spot that helps life and a deadly barrier that tests every creature's will to survive. Each visit to its banks is a calculated risk, a moment filled with worry. The crocodiles, by hunting the migrating herds, play a very important part in the natural world. They get rid of the weak and the vulnerable, making sure that only the strongest and luckiest continue their journey across the wild lands of Tanzania. The Mara River stands as a strong symbol of the Tanzanian wilderness, a place of amazing beauty and constant danger, where the fight for life happens with every step, every crossing, and every heartbeat. In the crocodile's domain, suspense and survival are always linked together. As the sun dips below the horizon, the Tanzanian plains are bathed in a golden glow, shadows stretching long across the land. The savannah, for a moment, seems to hold its breath, suspended between day and night. In this calm hour, the day's fierce struggles give way to a deeper order, one that is woven into every blade of grass, every heartbeat, every silent footfall. What appears at first glance to be a world ruled by chaos and violence is in truth a masterpiece of balance, where every life is both a player and a thread in a vast living tapestry. The lion, regal and powerful, rests in the tall grass, while the vulture waits patiently above. Each is bound to the other, their fates entwined by the cycles of life and death. The zebra grazes, ever watchful, while the jackal moves with quiet intent. Their lives intersect in subtle ways, sometimes as adversaries, sometimes as unwitting collaborators in the endless dance of survival. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, fulfills a role that is both unique and essential. The web of life is held together by countless relationships, predator and prey, scavenger and grazer, competitor and companion. The predator and the prey are not locked in a battle of good versus evil, but are partners in a cycle that sustains the land. The lion's pursuit sharpens the zebra's senses, and the zebra's vigilance hones the lion's skill. At the Waterhole, antelope and lion may drink side by side, a temporary truce in the ongoing rhythm of need and opportunity. Here, the boundaries between hunter and hunted blur, and the savannah's pulse beats as one. This balance is the savannah's greatest secret, a harmony maintained not by peace, but by the constant interplay of life and death, abundance and scarcity. The courage of the prey is as vital as the hunger of the predator. The zebra, standing its ground, reminds us that survival is not passive. It is an act of will, a daily assertion of life. When the zebra fights back, it shapes the destiny of both itself and its pursuer, ensuring that only the most skilled and resilient survive. In these moments, the savannah teaches that being a victim is never certain, and that every life is a story of resistance and adaptation. The hunters, too, are diverse, each with their own methods and strengths. The cheetah's explosive speed, the hyena's cunning teamwork, the lion's patient ambush, all are strategies that prevent any one species from dominating the plains. This diversity of tactics ensures that the balance is never static, but always shifting, always dynamic. Cooperation is a force as powerful as competition. Lions hunt together, their unity amplifying their strength. Within the pride, bonds of kinship and trust are forged, each member playing a part in the group's survival. Wild dogs, with their intricate social structures, rely on cooperation to bring down prey far larger than themselves. Even the zebras, moving as one, lead their herds to water, their unity a shield against the dangers that lurk in the grass. At the heart of the savannah, life is not a solitary struggle, but a network of relationships, alliances, rivalries, and fleeting moments of peace. The tracks of countless animals crisscross the earth, each step echoing through the web of life, each action sending ripples that touch every other being. The health of the predator is inseparable from the health of the prey. Strong herds mean strong hunters, and the vitality of one ensures the survival of the other. All life here is ultimately bound to the land itself. The richness of the soil, the rhythm of the rains, the cycles of growth and decay, these are the foundations upon which every life depends. The savannah is a living system, self-regulating and ever-evolving, perfected by countless generations of adaptation and change. Seasons shift, rains come and go, and with each cycle the savannah renews itself, its inhabitants adapting to the eternal ebb and flow. Scavengers like vultures and hyenas are the silent custodians of the land. They cleanse the plains, returning nutrients to the earth and preventing the spread of disease. Grazers in their great herds shape the landscape, trimming the grasses and fertilizing the soil, making way for new growth and sustaining the cycle for all. Predators, by culling the weak and the sick, keep the herd strong and the ecosystem in balance. Every act of predation is an act of renewal, a necessary part of the whole. Even the bonds between parent and offspring, the vigilance of a mother for her young, are threads in this intricate web, ensuring that life continues generation after generation. Remove even a single piece from this puzzle, a species lost, a link broken, the absence of vultures from the sky or hyenas from the plains, and the entire structure begins to unravel, the balance falters, and the savannah's harmony is threatened. Biodiversity is not simply a collection of species, but the very fabric of resilience, the source of strength that allows the ecosystem to endure drought, disease, and change. The more varied the life, the more robust the system, each species a safeguard against the unknown. The fury and wonder of Tanzania's wild heart reveal a lesson written in every sunrise and every chase across the plains. The rules of nature are not drawn in black and white, but in the subtle shades of balance, continuity, and interdependence. The cycles of day and night, of wet and dry, of birth and death, are the rhythms that sustain the whole. The struggle for life, in all its rawness and beauty, is the engine of evolution, the force that shapes every adaptation, every relationship. The great migrations, the endless journeys across the plains, are the living pulse of the savannah, a testament to the resilience and unity of life. This web of life is at once strong and delicate, able to withstand storms and droughts, yet vulnerable to the smallest disruption. The savannah's unwritten laws, its silent wisdom, are a reminder that the greatest strength lies in balance, in the harmony of countless lives interwoven. In every interaction, every fleeting moment of connection, the savannah reveals the genius of nature's design. The matriarch leading her herd, the pride resting in the shade, the flock wheeling overhead, all are expressions of a wisdom that has endured for millennia. The survival of the savannah and the continuation of its ancient cycles depend on the preservation of this magnificent, delicate balance. In the end, the savannah stands as a living testament to the power of connection, the beauty of diversity, and the enduring strength of life in balance. When darkness falls on the savannah, a new world wakes up. It's a world ruled by shadows, silence, and senses that come alive for the night. While the giants of the day sleep, the hunters of the night appear. They are the masters of a world the sun never sees. Their world is one of moonlight and whispers, where every rustle of grass and glimpse of movement is a clue, and every heartbeat is a countdown. The cheetah, wearing a coat of spots, glides through the bushes with silent grace. Its amber eyes pierce the darkness, used to the slightest rustle or flicker. Unlike the bold hunt of a lion, the cheetah's hunt is a solo dance of patience and power. With each step it blends into the darkness, pauses, calculates, waiting for the perfect moment. A lone impala, separated from its herd, grazes without knowing. With a sudden, smooth move, the cheetah strikes, quick, silent, decisive, dragging its prey into the branches above, out of reach of rival scavengers. Elsewhere, the eerie calls of the spotted hyena echo across the plains, a chilling chorus in the night air. Often misunderstood as just scavengers, hyenas are clever predators, their senses of smell and hearing unmatched in the dark. Working in groups, they coordinate with military precision, surrounding herds and isolating the weak. Their jaws, the strongest of any mammal, quickly take care of bones and tendons, making sure nothing goes to waste. The night is their friend, hiding their approach and boosting their advantage. In the tall grass, the serval cat stalks with cat-like grace. Long-legged and slender, it listens carefully for the smallest squeak or movement, a rodent digging underground or a bird nesting in the bushes. With a sudden leap it pounces, its sharp reflexes and perfect aim making it a fearsome hunter of the small and quick. Not all night hunters are mammals. The African barn owl, ghostly and silent, glides low over the grasses. Its heart-shaped face guides the faintest sounds, its talons ready to snatch an unaware mouse. Nightjars with their camouflaged feathers roam the twilight skies, feeding on moths and beetles drawn by the moon. Prey animals also adapt to the cover of night. Zebras and antelopes form tighter groups, their ears swivelling, eyes wide, nostrils flaring at every unfamiliar smell. The galago, with its huge eyes, leaps from branch to branch, searching for food safely in the tree canopy. Every creature, both predator and prey, is shaped by the demands of darkness, by the need to sense, adapt and survive when sight alone isn't enough. The interactions of these night hunters and their prey weave a different pattern across the savannah. Here stealth replaces speed, and silence is deadlier than strength. The night is a melting pot of new ideas and changes, a testing ground where only the cleverest survive. As dawn approaches, the night world retreats. Cheetahs go back to their leafy hiding spots, hyenas sneak back to their dens, and the night chorus fades away. Yet the legacy of their secret lives remains, a hidden drama unfolding under the stars, just as vital to the savannah's balance as the grand sights of the day. In the dance between shadow and light, the savannah reveals its final secret. That survival isn't just for the brave and obvious, but for those who master the art of darkness. The night belongs to the unknown, to the patient, the silent, the relentless hunters who shape the plain's fate while the world sleeps. As dawn breaks over the savannah, a single, shimmering waterhole becomes the centre where life revolves. This waterhole, fleeting and precious, acts as a lifeline in a land ruled by the sun and scarce water. Here, the drama of survival shifts from the shadows of night to the golden light of morning. The first to arrive are the cautious antelope, their delicate hooves barely stirring the mud as they lower their heads to drink. Their ears twitch and tails flick, always alert to danger. Soon zebras approach in a striped procession, their reflections shimmering on the surface. For them the water is not just a drink, but a place to strengthen their bonds, nuzzling their young, rubbing against each other and making soft sounds. A tower of giraffes stands like a guardian, their long necks bent as they spread their legs to reach the water's edge. Their presence signals relative safety, and more animals venture to come. Wildebeest in restless herds, warthogs running with tails held high, impala mingling among the crowd. Birds gather in bursts of colour, guinea-fowl, starlings and cattle egrets, fluttering to the shore, their calls echoing in the morning air. A pair of crowned cranes walks with royal grace, while glossy ibises search for insects in the mud. But the waterhole is more than just a peaceful place. Predators lurk around its edges, drawn by the promise of prey. Lions lie in the shade of acacia trees, their eyes narrowed, calculating their moves. Crocodiles hide half submerged, still as a floating log, waiting for a careless step. Even the bravest must balance thirst with danger. Tension fills every interaction. Elephants arrive in motherly herds, trumpeting, their size and power scattering the crowd. The young ones splash and play, while the adults drink deeply, sucking the cool liquid through their trunks. Their presence often pushes others to the sidelines, but their digging sometimes uncovers hidden springs, providing water for everyone. As the sun rises higher, the Waterhole becomes a stage for careful diplomacy and unspoken rules. Hierarchies emerge. Dominant males claim the best access, while the shy ones wait their turn. Conflicts break out. A skirmish between buffalo bulls, a face-off between rival zebras. Yet in this melting pot of necessity, moments of truce are plentiful. Predator and prey, for a fleeting moment, share the same vital need. The Waterhole is also a marketplace of information. Scent trails cross in the mud, tracks tell stories of past visitors, and alarm calls spread at the first sign of danger. Here alliances form and break. Cattle egrets ride on buffalo, cleaning off parasites. Vervet monkeys chatter warnings from the treetops, alerting everyone to danger. As the afternoon fades and shadows lengthen, the community disperses, each animal carrying the gift of water and the lessons of watchfulness and living together. The Waterhole, though small, shapes the fate of the entire Savannah, a testament to the complex web that connects predator, prey and scavengers alike. In this oasis, life meets not in conquest, but in the shared struggle for survival. Every ripple, every footprint tells a story of competition, cooperation and the constant pulse of life brought together by the promise of water. Under the hot sun and among the endless grasses, an unseen conversation unfolds, a symphony of signals, sounds and movements. The animals of the savannah, though silent to our ears, are never quiet. Here communication is a matter of life or death, kinship and rivalry, warning and welcome. A low, rumbling call travels across the plains. Elephants, miles apart, send seismic messages through the ground, vibrations picked up by sensitive feet and trunks. These infrasound signals carry news, the location of fresh water, a newborn calf, or the shadow of a predator. Nearby, a tower of giraffes stands alert. With a flick of an ear, or a gentle swish of a tail, they pass on a sense of unease. Their long necks stretch skyward, heads turning in a silent dance, scanning for danger. When a threat is spotted, a sudden, synchronized run spreads the message faster than any word. Zebras, with their bold stripes, communicate in patterns as much as in sound. A sharp bark rips through the air, a warning to the herd. Ears swivel, tails stiffen, and bodies bunch together, stripes merging into a dazzling mass to confuse potential hunters. Grooming and gentle nudges strengthen bonds, calm frayed nerves, and confirm alliances. In the shade, vervet monkeys chatter in bursts of urgency. Each call is precise, a different alarm for an eagle, a snake, or a leopard. The group scatters, each individual responding to the code, dashing to the safety of trees or freezing in place, unseen by ground danger. Birds add their own notes to the chorus. The shriek of a helmeted guinea fowl warns of a sneaking cat, while the melodic duet of crowned cranes signals unity and courtship. Oxpeckers, perched on buffalo and rhino, chirp and shriek, alerting their hosts to lurking parasites or approaching lions. Even silence is a message. Antelopes freeze, every muscle tense, eyes wide. A hush spreads, a wave of stillness that warns all on the horizon something is wrong. In this quiet, every heartbeat matters. Body language weaves through these exchanges. Subtle shifts, a raised mane, a lowered head, a flash of white tail, speak volumes. Dominant wildebeest paw the ground, kicking up dust to declare territory. Antelopes perform high leaps, stotting, to show strength and deter pursuit. At dusk the air hums with a chorus of frogs and insects. their calls marking territory, attracting mates, and measuring the coming darkness. The language of the savannah is never-ending, layered, nuanced, and vital. It's written in the dust, sung on the wind, and drawn in every gesture and glance. In this vast land, survival depends on listening and on being heard. Here, every creature is a messenger and an audience, bound together in the ongoing dialogue of the wild. In the golden mist of the savannah, where every shadow can mean safety or sudden danger, survival often depends on the art of becoming invisible. Here, camouflage isn't just a pattern, it's a lifeline, woven into fur, feathers and scales. Under the scattered shade of an acacia tree, a young impala freezes. Its tawny coat, dappled with white, mirrors the shifting light and brittle grass, blurring its outline until it's just a shimmer in the midday heat. A lioness stalks a few yards away, her sandy hide blending seamlessly with the sun-baked earth and tangled shrubs. Every move is calculated, her body a whisper against the landscape, unseen until the moment of her pounce. Elsewhere, a leopard lies on a low, twisted branch. The rosettes on its fur echo the mix of sun and shadow above, hiding its muscular shape. Its tail twitches, a silent rhythm as it waits. Below, a troop of baboons passes by, unaware of the hidden watcher above, a master of patience and disguise. Among the rocks, a flap-necked chameleon creeps along a branch. Its skin ripples and changes, shifting from green to brown to match the bark. Its tongue flickers, and it blends into its surroundings, invisible to both prey and predator. In the grass, a nightjar sits low. Its mottled feathers mimic the dry earth and fallen leaves, protecting its nest from sharp-eyed scavengers. The waters of the savannah are no less deceptive. A Nile crocodile floats among the reeds, its rough, bumpy back indistinguishable from a log. Only a pair of steady eyes gives away its presence, waiting for a zebra's hoof or a wildebeest's wild plunge to break the surface tension. Even the smallest creatures are masters of disguise. An African stick insect clings to a twig, perfectly still, its thin shape indistinguishable from the branches around it. A praying mantis, disguised as a leaf, sways in the breeze, luring unsuspecting insects within striking distance. But camouflage isn't always about hiding from danger. Sometimes it's about hunting in plain sight. A gaboon viper, its scales patterned with a mosaic of browns and creams, coils beneath a carpet of leaf litter. Unseen, it waits for the slightest vibration, striking with deadly precision. As dusk falls, shadows lengthen and colours deepen, and the game of hide-and-seek begins anew. Every creature, from the smallest lizard to the towering giraffe, must learn the language of disappearing. In this world, survival favours those who can vanish into the very fabric of the earth, silent, unseen, and always vigilant. Here, on the endless plains, the art of camouflage is an ancient dance, a dance that decides who remains a whisper in the wind and who becomes a memory beneath the grass. Under the vast savannah sky, every creature's story unfolds in a circle. An ancient dance of beginnings and endings, woven into the very fabric of the land. Here life isn't a straight line, but a cycle. Every birth, every passing, echoes through the generations. In the quiet of early morning, a newborn wildebeest calf takes its first wobbly steps. Within moments, instinct drives it to its mother's side, a vital bond in a world where the weak must learn fast or be left behind. As days turn into weeks, the calf's legs grow strong, and soon it joins the great herds moving in sync across the plains, shaping the grasslands with every hoof. Nearby, a lioness guards her cubs in a secluded bush. Blind and helpless at birth, the cubs rely completely on her for warmth and protection. Over months they learn the ways of the pride, the stalk, the pounce, and the fierce loyalty that binds them together. Some will survive to become hunters themselves, others, falling prey to hunger or rival predators, will nourish the very earth from which new life springs. High in the acacia branches, a weaver bird's nest cradles tiny, featherless chicks. Their parents dart tirelessly, bringing small bits of insects, teaching them to flutter, then to fly. When the time comes, the fledglings brave the open sky. Some thrive, others fall prey, each one feeding the cycle that sustains the savannah. Even the silent giants, the elephants, pass through well-worn paths of life. Calves are born into the heart of the herd, surrounded by aunts and grandmothers. They learn which trees yield the sweetest leaves, where to find water in times of drought, and the mourning rituals that honour their dead. Memories passed down through generations, shaping the wisdom of the matriarchs. Yet death is never truly an end here. When an antelope falls, scavengers gather, hyenas, jackals and vultures, each playing their part in returning nutrients to the soil. Insects and microbes complete the unseen work, breaking down what remains and nourishing the grasses that will feed the next generation. From the smallest termite to the towering giraffe, every life, every death is a thread in the savannah's endless tapestry. Each creature's journey, from fragile beginning to final breath, leaves a legacy, shaping the land, feeding others, and ensuring the circle is never broken. In this timeless cycle, the savannah endures, a living testament to nature's profound balance, where every end is a new beginning, and every life, no matter how brief, is part of something eternal.